Hey warriors, listen carefully. Most people panic not because they are weak, but because they do not understand the game being played against them. They fear betrayal, failure, rejection, and chaos, because every move around them feels unpredictable. In this video, we will solve one central problem: why intelligent people still panic, and how understanding power, human nature, and strategy instantly removes fear. Most people believe panic is caused by danger. It is not. Panic is caused by confusion. The moment the mind cannot connect events into a pattern, fear rushes in to fill the gap. This is why the same situation destroys one person and leaves another untouched. The difference is not courage. The difference is understanding. Those who understand the game are never surprised, and because they are never surprised, they do not panic. Power has always moved in patterns. Empires rise the same way, betrayals unfold the same way, alliances collapse the same way. Only the names change, only the faces change. Human nature remains loyal to itself. Machiavelli observed this long before modern psychology gave it language. He understood that men repeat themselves endlessly, believing each time they are being original. The strategist watches these repetitions. The fool experiences them as shock. When someone turns against you, the untrained mind screams, "Why?" The trained mind calmly says, "Of course," because betrayal follows rules. Pressure reveals loyalty. Opportunity exposes character. When rewards increase, masks fall. When fear rises, promises disappear. None of this is random. None of this is personal. But those who fail to recognize patterns personalize everything. They believe events are about them, designed to hurt them, meant to break them. This illusion is what causes panic. They think they are unlucky, cursed, or targeted by fate. In reality, they are simply unaware of how the game functions. Watch how power behaves when it feels threatened. It centralizes, it tightens control, it becomes impatient. Watch how weak people behave when they sense advantage. They become loud, they become bold, they overextend. These behaviors repeat across history, politics, workplaces, families, and relationships. Once you see this, fear loses its mystery. When a system resists you, it is not because you are wrong, it is because you are disruptive. When people delay your progress, it is not confusion, it is calculation. When praise suddenly disappears, it is not forgetfulness, it is repositioning. The one who recognizes these signals does not panic because nothing unexpected is occurring. Panic is the reaction of those who think the world should behave differently than it does. The strategist accepts the world as it is, not as it should be. Acceptance is not weakness, it is clarity. Clarity is power. Most people are trapped in moments. They react to individual events without seeing the chain connecting them. They hear one sentence, witness one action, suffer one loss, and their emotions explode. They are fighting shadows because they cannot see the structure casting them. Pattern recognition lifts you above the moment. You no longer drown in the wave because you understand the tide. When you understand that people act from interest, not morality, you stop expecting fairness. When you understand that silence is often more intentional than speech, you stop chasing explanations. When you understand that resistance increases before collapse, you stop mistaking pressure for failure. Those who panic assume something has gone wrong. Those who understand patterns know something is progressing. This is why seasoned leaders appear calm in crisis, not because they are fearless, but because they have seen this moment before. Different time, different place, same structure, same outcome. Fear thrives in the unknown. Pattern recognition destroys the unknown. Once you recognize the signs, you stop rushing. You stop explaining yourself. You stop begging for clarity from people who benefit from your confusion. You begin to move deliberately, not emotionally. The one who understands the game waits while others rush. He watches while others react. He gathers information while others burn bridges. This patience is mistaken for passivity by those who do not understand what is happening, but patience born of clarity is lethal. Those who cannot see patterns become predictable. They panic at the same points every time. They collapse under the same pressures, they repeat the same mistakes and call it bad luck. Those who see patterns gain an unfair advantage. They know when to advance and when to retreat. They know when silence is safer than speech. They know when chaos is a sign of opportunity, not danger. The world does not overwhelm people with strength, it overwhelms them with complexity. Once complexity is reduced into patterns, intimidation disappears. This is why knowledge removes fear, not abstract knowledge, but knowledge of how power moves, how people behave, how outcomes form long before they arrive. When you understand the game, events stop feeling hostile. They start feeling familiar, and familiarity is the enemy of panic. You do not panic in a room you have walked through 100 times. You do not panic in a battle whose strategy you understand. You do not panic when you know the next move before it happens. Pattern recognition gives you this advantage everywhere you go, and those who possess it are never ruled by fear. Pay attention to this truth, because it decides who controls the situation and who becomes part of it. Emotion does not feel like an enemy. It feels like guidance. It arrives loudly, urgently, demanding immediate action. Anger insists you respond. Fear insists you retreat. Excitement insists you rush forward. Emotion always speaks in absolutes, and that is why it is dangerous. The moment emotion takes control, strategy disappears. Machiavelli understood that men rarely lose power because they lack intelligence. They lose it because they surrender to impulse. They speak when silence would have protected them. They act when waiting would have revealed more. They attack when patience would have delivered victory without resistance. Emotion shortens vision. It traps the mind in the present moment and blinds it to consequence. Strategy, on the other hand, requires distance. It demands the ability to step back, to observe not only what is happening but what will happen next. This is why those who can provoke emotion in others hold power over them. When someone makes you angry, they have moved you. When someone makes you afraid, they have guided you. When someone makes you desperate, they have already won a portion of the battle. Emotion turns the rational mind into a servant. Most conflicts are not decided by strength or intelligence. They are decided by who loses emotional control first. Watch how easily people reveal themselves when emotions rise. They explain too much. They threaten prematurely. They reveal insecurities disguised as confidence. Emotion strips away discipline, and discipline is the backbone of strategy. The strategist does not eliminate emotion. He contains it. He understands that emotion is a signal, not a command. Anger may reveal injustice, but it should never decide timing. Fear may reveal risk, but it should never dictate movement. Desire may reveal opportunity, but it should never remove caution. Those who confuse emotion with instinct mistake reaction for wisdom. In moments of pressure, the emotional person feels compelled to do something, anything, to relieve the discomfort. This is why panic creates terrible decisions. Action becomes a drug, a way to escape anxiety rather than a calculated step toward advantage. But strategy often requires doing nothing. Silence feels unbearable to the emotional mind. Waiting feels like weakness. Restraint feels like loss of control. In reality, restraint is the highest form of control. The one who can sit calmly while others unravel is already winning. Emotion makes people predictable. Predictability makes them exploitable. If you know what angers a man, you can steer him. If you know what he fears, you can trap him. If you know what he desires, you can distract him. Emotion turns people into open books written in large letters. This is why power rarely announces itself loudly. It speaks softly, moves slowly, and strikes precisely. Those ruled by emotion are always late, always loud, always reacting to a reality shaped by others. Machiavelli warned that a ruler who governs through passion invites chaos. A leader must appear compassionate, firm, and decisive, but must never allow inner turbulence to dictate external action. What is true for rulers is true for individuals. When emotion leads, strategy follows blindly. When strategy leads, emotion becomes a tool rather than a master. Consider how many mistakes are made in moments of emotional urgency. relationships destroyed by a single outburst, careers damaged by one impulsive message, alliances broken by pride. These outcomes are rarely the result of evil intent, they are the result of ungoverned emotion. Those who remain calm gain time. Time reveals information. Information reveals leverage. Leverage creates options. Options create power. Emotion collapses time. It forces immediate decisions based on incomplete information. Strategy expands time. It allows you to see reactions unfold. Patterns emerge. Weaknesses expose themselves naturally. The calm individual appears slow to the emotional observer. In truth, he is ahead. While others exhaust themselves in reaction, he conserves energy, clarity, and position. This is why true confidence is quiet. It does not need to prove itself in every moment. It does not rush to be seen. It does not fear temporary loss because it sees the larger structure. Those who panic believe they are losing control. In reality, they never had it. Control is not the absence of emotion. It is the refusal to let emotion dictate action. When you master this, provocation loses its power. Insults become noise, delays become information, pressure becomes a test rather than a threat. The world is full of people trying to make you react. Few are prepared for you to observe, and observation, when paired with discipline, becomes strategy in its purest form. Understand this, and a great weight will leave your mind. Most people suffer not because life is harsh, but because they believe it is supposed to be fair. They expect rewards to follow effort, loyalty to be returned with loyalty, and truth to be honored simply because it is true. When these expectations collapse, panic takes their place. Machiavelli saw clearly what many refuse to accept. The world does not move according to justice. It moves according to interest. Power does not ask who deserves, only who benefits. Once you grasp this, confusion fades. People do not act against you because you are wrong. They act because your success interferes with their advantage. Systems do not resist change because change is harmful. They resist because it threatens those who profit from stability. Decisions are not made to reward virtue, but to preserve position. This is no cynicism. This is observation. Fairness is a moral idea, not a governing principle. Those who expect fairness from the world are like sailors demanding the sea be kind. The sea responds only to navigation, never to complaint. When someone breaks a promise, the emotional mind cries betrayal. The strategic mind asks what incentive changed. When rules are enforced selectively, the naive feel outraged. The strategist looks for who benefits from enforcement and who benefits from exception. Outrage is the currency of those who do not understand interest. Those who understand interest stop being shocked by outcomes. They stop asking why the worst people sometimes win and why the most capable are often overlooked. They recognize that outcomes follow alignment, not merit. This realization does not make you bitter, it makes you precise. When you remove fairness from your expectations, you begin to see the real structure beneath events. You notice who is protected, who is expendable, and who is useful at any given moment. You notice how language is used to disguise interest as principle. Power rarely announces its true motive. It speaks in the language of necessity, security, tradition, or morality. These words are masks. Interests are the face beneath them. Machiavelli advised rulers to appear just while acting strategically. Appearances calm the masses. Interests guide decisions. Those who confuse appearance with reality become tools in someone else's strategy. This is why people panic when systems fail them. They believed in the illusion. When the illusion shatters, they feel personally betrayed by reality itself. But the one who never believed in fairness is never disappointed by its absence. Understanding interest allows you to move without resentment. Resentment clouds judgment. It ties you emotionally to outcomes you cannot control. It keeps you focused on what should have happened instead of what is happening. Those who cling to fairness fight imaginary battles. They waste energy condemning reality instead of navigating it. Once you see the world as a stage of interests, you begin to ask better questions. Not who is right, but who is positioned. Not who is honest, but who is necessary. Not who is talented, but who is protected? These questions lead to clarity. Clarity leads to leverage. When interests align with you, progress feels effortless. Doors open, support appears, resistance fades. When interests turn against you, nothing works, no matter how correct you are. This is not fate, this is structure. Those who understand this stop taking obstacles personally. They understand that resistance is not judgment, it is friction between competing interests. Instead of panicking, they adapt. Adaptation is impossible without detachment. You cannot adapt if you're emotionally invested in being treated fairly. You adapt when you accept that the game rewards positioning, not righteousness. This acceptance creates emotional freedom. You no longer feel humiliated by setbacks or intoxicated by praise. Both are temporary signals, not verdicts. Machiavelli warned that a prince who relies on love alone will fall when interests shift. The same applies to individuals who rely on goodwill without understanding incentives. Goodwill is fragile, interest is durable. Once you see interest at work, you stop begging for recognition. You stop explaining your value to those who gain nothing from acknowledging it. You stop trying to convince the uninterested. Instead, you reposition yourself where your value aligns with someone else's advantage. This is not manipulation, it is intelligence. The world rewards those who understand its language, and its language is interest. When you speak this language, confusion dissolves. Events become logical. Behavior becomes predictable. Panic disappears because nothing feels arbitrary anymore. You realize that injustice is not chaos. It is order serving someone else. And when you see that order, you stop fighting shadows and start moving with purpose. Understand this distinction because it separates those who feel powerful from those who actually are. Control does not come from force. It does not come from authority. It does not even come from confidence. Control comes from clarity. The ability to see what is happening without distortion, without emotional fog, without illusion. Most people believe they lose control because circumstances overwhelm them. In truth, they lose control the moment their perception becomes unclear. When the mind is confused, every event feels threatening. When perception is sharp, even chaos becomes manageable. Machiavelli understood that rulers who lacked clarity relied on cruelty or chaos to maintain power. Those who possessed clarity rarely needed either. They knew when to act, when to wait, and when to let events unfold without interference. Clarity begins with understanding cause and effect. Nothing appears suddenly. Outcomes announce themselves long before they arrive, but only those who are paying attention can hear the announcement. Panic is the sound of realizing too late. When you are clear, you recognize early signs. A shift in tone, a change in behavior, a delay where there was once urgency, silence where there was once communication. These are not minor details. They are signals. Those who ignore signals are forced to react to outcomes. Those who recognize signals gain the power to influence them. Clarity also means knowing your position. Many people panic because they overestimate their security or underestimate their leverage. They believe they are safe when they are exposed, or powerless when they are essential. Both illusions create fear. When you know where you stand, fear loses its grip. You no longer imagine threats that do not exist or ignore threats that do. You assess, you calculate, you decide. Control is not about dominating others. It is about mastering your responses. Those who control their reactions control the pace of the situation. Pace determines advantage. The one who moves too fast reveals desperation. The one who moves too slow invites replacement. Clarity reveals timing. Machiavelli advised leaders to avoid half measures. Indecision signals weakness, but decisiveness without clarity is worse than hesitation. It creates irreversible consequences without understanding. True decisiveness is calm. It does not announce itself. It does not seek validation. It moves because the moment is right, not because emotion demands release. Clarity strips away false options. It reveals what can be changed and what must be accepted. Many people exhaust themselves trying to control what is uncontrollable while neglecting what is fully within their power. This misplacement of effort breeds panic. When clarity is present, energy is conserved. You stop chasing explanations from people who benefit from your confusion. You stop reacting to noise. You stop interpreting every obstacle as a personal attack. Instead, you focus on influence. Influence is quieter than force and far more effective. It comes from understanding, incentives, timing, and perception. Those with clarity shape outcomes without appearing to struggle. This is why calm individuals unsettle emotional ones. Calm suggests awareness. Awareness suggests preparation. Preparation suggests control. People sense when they are facing someone who sees clearly. They become cautious, they reveal less, they hesitate. Clarity shifts the balance without a word being spoken. Most people seek reassurance when they feel uncertain. Reassurance is temporary. It soothes emotion but does not restore control. Clarity restores control because it replaces fear with understanding. Once you understand why something is happening, you no longer need comfort. You need strategy. Clarity also requires honesty with oneself. Self-deception is the greatest enemy of control. People lie to themselves about their importance, their security, their intentions, and their weaknesses. These lies create blind spots. Blind spots invite panic. The disciplined mind removes comforting illusions and replaces them with accurate perception. This process is uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is preferable to confusion. Those who embrace clarity do not seek to feel good. They seek to see well. When clarity is present, setbacks do not destabilize you. They inform you. Delays do not insult you. They signal resistance or reconfiguration. Opposition does not frighten you. It confirms significance. This shift transforms your relationship with uncertainty. You stop fearing what you do not know and start preparing for what you can anticipate. The world feels less hostile when it feels understandable. Control is not the elimination of risk. It is the management of it, and management requires vision. Those who see clearly move calmly through storms that paralyze others. Not because they are immune to danger, but because they are not blind to it. Clarity does not remove obstacles, it removes panic, and in the absence of panic, control naturally follows. Now you see why panic was never your enemy, ignorance was. When you recognize patterns, emotion loses its authority over you. When you master your inner reactions, others lose their power to provoke you. When you understand that the world moves by interest rather than fairness, disappointment no longer confuses you. And when clarity replaces illusion, control stops being something you chase and becomes something you possess. This is the game that has always been played around you. Most never notice it. They react, complain, and collapse under pressure, believing chaos is personal and failure is final. But those who understand the structure move differently. They do not rush, they do not beg, they do not panic. They observe, they wait, they position themselves where outcomes favor them long before those outcomes arrive. Machiavelli did not teach cruelty. He taught awareness. Awareness of human nature, awareness of power, awareness of timing. With awareness comes calm. With calm comes precision. With precision comes influence. Remember this when the world tests you. When tension rises, slow down. When emotions surge, step back. When events seem unfair, look for the interest being served. And when confusion threatens to overwhelm you, seek clarity before action. Because the moment you truly understand the game being played, fear has nowhere left to stand. And those who do not panic are the ones who decide how the game ends.